why I was thinking the Brewmaster pickup. But they ban him out, and Rubik will be the pickup here by MVP. It's going to be interesting to see if that Rubik can steal some nice Ravages, and more importantly, can return the Ravage.
Yes.
In any way, shape, or form that would affect the fight, because you're still going to have Dazzle, who's going to be in there to give everyone a nice heal. You know, Wraith King, who, as we said before, like, if his Anchor's triggered and the Ravage does that, hey, who cares?
5 seconds
in this game, I almost think Gush is going to be a better thing for Rubik to steal off the Tidehunter.
Well, I mean, if you could get Ravage, you always want Ravage. But yeah, Gush is always a decent spell. And if you look over to Wraith King, you always get the Hellfire Blast. So I feel like this is already a fairly good Rubik draft to fit the Rubik in. And also, if you want to think, Rubik also prevents a lot of picks coming out. Like, you can't just go Enigma or Bane, for example. I mean, you can. He'll just get your ultimate for free. So I feel that getting Rubik earlier in the draft is actually not a bad way to go about it. And here comes the Queen of Pain. So another decent set of spells to seal. Can you imagine Rubik with a free Blink Dagger? Like, you know, things like that. It really makes a hero much, much better. But this is where you start to worry about laning. And I feel like MVP Phoenix should actually go into her OD fairly safe. Because I feel that Oli matches up against Queen of Pain as well as, well, she kills Queen of Pain in lane. It deals really well with Wraith King, because if you keep sapping his mana away, suddenly he is harassed in terms of, do I want to Reincarn, do I want to Hellfire Blast? Also, the Astral Imprisonment is really good way, you know, helping one of your allies out if they're stunned, if they're Ravage, whatever else. But it seems like their mid matchups is actually going to be Viper.
Yeah, unless they switch him around. At least Viper's got the upside where if the Shadow Strike goes on the Viper, he's going to keep putting that corrosive skin back onto the Queen of Pain. But
Queen of Pain cannot Shadow Strike Viper.
Yeah.
She takes more damage.
But at the same time, like, Queen of Pain's got used to this kind of thing. It's like back in the days when Templar Assassin was always up against Queen of Pain. She's like, it's good, I can't hit my Shadow Strike. I might keep 1 point in it, so at least I can bait him out for that. But everything else just put into Scream and Sonic Wave. And just get ready for that level 7, level 8 when you're capable of blinking, screaming, ulting, and getting yourself a kill. And this time around from MVP, like SK, thinks he can hide inside the Sandstorm, won't work. Prophet can't hide inside a Sprout. Rubik might be able to blink himself away, but Queen of Pain will try and keep up with him the entire time.
Yep.
And Viper copying that kind of ulti, if he gets held in position just long enough for a couple more right clicks from like maybe a Hellfire Blast, it should be okay. And we're still missing 1 core here from Arrow if that Wraith King's not it.
Yeah, and I feel that with the Viper coming out, that Wraith King should not be a core, because Viper Strike just says, hey, you're not doing anything. So I think it's looking more and more like a Wraith King support, but obviously the last pick could change things. And we do see at least MVP Phoenix is expecting the Wraith King to be a core.
They're expecting an aggro Triolate with the bonus damage of the Ancient Apparition. I'm expecting something more like a Mirana pickup to work with the Hellfire Blast into the Arrow.
Sure, yeah.
It's obviously like not the longest stun timing though for the Wraith King, so you can't get like the full 5-second arrow every single time. But I'm just looking for some right physical DPS that's at range as well. And well, I guess it's not going to be range. We're going to go very defensive here.
Oh wow, okay. But I guess you're offlaning Tidehunter, Wraith King on support. The problem with this is you have 2 melee heroes in that particular tri-lane. Should MVP Phoenix go aggressive try? Could
Arrow even go to aggressive try now? Like AM versus Void on the front lines in the early stages? You're going up against an SK Rubik. Would you think you got enough with both the Dazzle as well as the Wraith King to stand on that lane?
I don't think so.
I know it's kind of crazy to ever say Anime should go into an aggressive lane because it's like AM, sit back, farm, and then win game kind of thing. But I'm more concerned the fact that AM is going to get done in the late game by Faceless Void if they don't actively do something up against that Faceless Void.
I mean, here's the thing though. Again, what the most popular playstyle of Faceless Void is you farm for that Acceptor first. He's going to hit like kittens for the first 20 minutes. Unless, you know, last game happened where you feed him like 20 kills.
But it's the same thing for the anti-mage though. Like, he's not going to be going out there going, he doesn't hit like kittens. Like, well, obviously he's not going to blink into the fight because he has like 500 HP. He don't get immediately focused. But for whatever reason, if he gets free hits off, Mana Break at level 4 maxed out does what, 64 mana burn? And that translates to like plus 40 damage at level 7. Yeah, that's why I thought like maybe you could run him aggro tri-lane, so then Faceless Void's basically got no mana to work with. And if SK comes in close, he gets a Burrow Strike off, Dazzle will heal him up, but then 1 mana burn again, and he's going to find himself completely empty in the tank too. But we're not going to get it anyway. Lance will head up towards the top lane as the AM.
which means DDZ get the Queen of Pain, heading down towards the mid, and then on the bottom lane it'll be Tidehunter combining up with a Raid. Yeah, they're actually going to run an aggro tri-lane here, at least have the supports move down south with smoke, and they're going to babysit the Tidehunter in the early levels.
Right, so the idea in this particular lane setup is the fact that Nature's Prophet does harass decently in the early game, but it's nothing a permanent shield anti-mage cannot handle. So a lot of pulling, he's going to get his first wave of last hits, he's going to get the PMS, and he should do just fine against Nature's Prophet. Meanwhile, if you look at the other side, you want to stick up an offensive trialing to really help your Queen of Pain. The reason that we don't see Queen of Pain too much anymore is that trialing versus trialing has really fallen off. Imagine the following scenario. The trialing versus trialing fight for like 3 or 4 minutes. Nobody has any experience because, you know, they're preventing pulls from happening. They're just constantly like zoning each other out. Queen of Pain suddenly TPs to the bot lane. She's level 6. She kills your trialing and gets like a double kill for your team. So this is where Queen of Pain is actually at her best element, which is having a trialing versus trialing being forced out on both sides, because she gets quick experience, nobody else gets quick experience, and that's the best type of scenario she could come in and dominate.
Should be watching the bottom lane at the very start here. Both teams are doing a lot of blocking. Tidehunter's got to kind of slow his creep wave up a little bit more if they want this gank to work. There was an aggressive observer ward put down here. Now this ward seeds very deep inside the lane, so the second Mosin as well as Johnny come out of this sideline, they're going to get revealed. But they need someone to come in a little bit closer. They use the Tide as bait.
But look at Sanking, he's in Biz.
Did you see him? He saw him, he pinged him. He pinged him, he sees them both in the corner. He's actually locked them in here. They can't get out of here while he's in Biz.
Well, they'll walk the other way.
Sandstorm.
He'll take Burrow Strike at level 1, but they're not going to get surprised as a result. And he's going to even walk out, so not even showing the fact that they drop a sentry ward. It's like, hey, what's going on?
It's just in a range too. That's the difference in the range right now between the observer ward as well as the sentry ward vision. It's not cool. Yeah.
Okay, DDZ just Shadow Strike a Viper.
Really bad idea.
This is a mistake. Perhaps
we should probably move towards that bottom right now. They're going in rather deep. We'll come back to that. There's a gush to start with. Hellfire Blast potential is here. He has a level of Burrow Strike now. He'll do it. Over 2. Dazzle's still here, and he went Poison Touch to start with, so there's no heal to bail him out. Prophet was considering TPing in. He's done it twice now, and Johnny's going in very deep, and he's got another Hellfire Blast available, but will not throw it out. Yeah. He started with it, but then held off. They're rotating. They want to get the kill. Viper's coming in from the mid, but this means SK has to get the Burrow Strike. What, he backed up.
I mean, he couldn't. Burrow Strike at level 1 is really a short range. Okay, I know it's really nice to go for that first blood, but the time that they chase it from the bottom lane to deep into the enemy jungle and then back, it's essentially 30 seconds. And they miss 4 or 5 last hits. I think missing those 4 or 5 last hits to make you lose more gold. Obviously, if you get the first blood, that's great, but you know, you can't 100% get the first blood. Meanwhile,
it's worth wasting the 10 seconds of the Viper at least. Then again, he gets a DP every now.
That's the Viper making the mistake. He shouldn't have came either because they weren't getting that kill. But meanwhile, QO on the other side is getting free farm. So I think there's the importance of getting the early game kills. I understand that, but you know, when you fail those early game kills.
Oh, Prophet's going to be completely zoned out of that top lane now. He's back to base. He's literally pushed him the whole way out. 2 points mana burn, 1 point blink, all that's required. And Lance just gets huge experience, huge farm.
Anti-Mage is actually not too bad as a lane harasser. You blink up to the Prophet, you just kind of keep hitting him, and he really can't deal with that.
How are you meant to deal with it? Like, you know, if you wait too long, you're going to run completely out of mana, so you can't blink yourself, you can't TP yourself away to safety.
Yeah, I think once you have phase boots, you are actually a lot more well equipped because he blinks on you, you just phase away, and as Anti-Mage turns around, you give him that high damage right click. But it's going to be the trialing going back up top. Arrows realizing they're not really doing too much with the trialing, and honestly, Tidehunter should be very well equipped to actually survive in this trialing once he gets a level into his Kraken Shell, because you could really debuff the initiation coming out from MVP Phoenix.
Well, for now, man, faceless void. Do we? Okay, Midas. Why am I expecting anything less? Count the courier to him now. That's nice timing. Like, it's going to be out there by 4.5 minutes left, the whole thing completed. If the courier wasn't too busy moving back and forward between mid lane for the Viper. Yeah.
Xiangzai is actually playing a lot more defensive than he should be. Yeah, he should walk up there, drop the anchor smash, because 60% damage reduction for Void, you know, gonna cause him just a couple of lasts at the very least, harass him a bit more.
He's even on an observer board watching around the site, so he knows when the SK is going to move over. And even though it's like a level 1 SK, why would you care?
He shouldn't. He really shouldn't. If he's really afraid, just pick up a magic stick in the shop, and like that enough to give him the survival he needs.
Maybe he's more concerned about like a face like the Nature's Prophet TPing in and catching
Sure, I suppose. I mean, he doesn't have a set of Tango. I guess that is a legitimate concern.
We'll jump into top lane. Hellfire Blast gonna burn through a little bit more mana of Forev, and he's got okay, now he's got nothing. He's got boots, and that's all he can cast in himself, and that's because it doesn't cost anything.
Yeah, he's fine. We'll walk it off. Until anti-makes his mana shield. Mana voice kills me. He's not gonna get the kill.
Triangles have arrived for the bottom lane for the Tidehunter. Might be looking towards the arcane boots though. He's got a lineup. It's rather mana dependent. Like between Hellfire Blast, between Dazzle heals, between like even Queen of Pain jumping in all the time. It'll be nice to have that extra little bit of a heal up. And also, Comp's still gonna be careful about using that Scream, even if it is only on illusions.
Still have the passive.
Yep. Ticking down all the time. And this Corp is burning through a lot of charges, but he's keeping level with like Viper. I suppose in a way, like I know Waga used to yesterday, he was saying Viper is the hero, which if you have him, you're meant to win your lane with Viper. That's just what's meant to happen.
And he's winning the lane. I mean, well, okay.
It's even.
It's even. The thing is, Queen of Pain is also one of those heroes that you need to win your lane with. So honestly, both heroes are sucking. Like, because nobody's winning, right? I guess that's a different way to look at it.
Everyone's a winner.
Wait, here's the thing though. Queen of Pain is expected to do a lot more in the mid game. Viper's one of those heroes, like, you sit back, you farm your mag, you farm your Acceptor, and you just be that train. You push towers. Pain, however,
he's coming into a gank right now. Hellfire Blast plus the Poison Touch. Queen of Pain's gonna blink herself in. Oh, he can get up, but she's still gonna scream as well as the ulti. The Sonic Wave will fly. March with the Sig Charge and the Flux was there to protect, but only just flew in. They pick up Johnny, throwing him back for the telekinesis. And Johnny, he's gonna go down right now. In fact, they're gonna pick up a double with the Dazzle as well. Arrow couldn't get up there and finish the job.
Power diving or just diving on Viper is just a really, really bad choice, especially if you have a Wraith King and Dazzle. They're not exactly known for their nukes. Queen and Pain came in, and normally Sonic Wave plus a Scream generally gets a kill, but it's against a Viper. Kuroto's game where you had DDZ's coming in, but there's a Sand King Viz up. Are they going to try to bait for it? They want DDZ to commit a little bit more. And you know, Viper is also one of those like Bristleback-esque heroes. You think he's low, and you go in there for the kill, but he surprises you with how tanky he actually is.
I can't believe Queen of Pain didn't get up on top of the hill. Because if she did, she wouldn't have hesitated with a nuke, which means that Curry would never have flown in with a butt flop.
Yeah.
Because that arrived halfway during the fight too. Just like,
Level 1 blink range is so short.
Yeah, that's why I said at the very start of the game, you want the 7-2-8. Because when you hit 8, then you get the second point up in blink, and if at level 7 you actually skip the Shadow Strike,
yeah.
I mean, you will normally have the second point up in the blink.
To me, it's clear that DDZ have not played this matchup, which is understandable because Queen of Pain is not exactly a common pick. But on the bottom lane, looks like they're gonna think about circling around here. Kyo does have the Chrono here. He jumps forward. The right click is gonna be harassing. Oh, there's a decent Chrono here. I mean, it's great because his right clickers could go in. But look at Xiangzai. He's actually surviving for a long time. Here comes the Quap. Gonna annihilate it. The Void. You'll take that trade any day.
Yeah. Man, you just took out the safe lane hero plus his first Chrono for your off-lane Tidehunter. The fact the Anchor Smash came in, or just a quick blink to Scream.
Yeah.
TP for DDZ. That gives him his treads now up and running.
Again, Queen of Pain is one of those heroes that you have to win your lane hard. You have to come out of like the first Nightfall with 3 kills. And she's not really doing any of that. So we'll see if she's able to snowball out of control. Because she is a snowball hero by heart.
Are we passing that first nighttime with the old nighttime timing or the new nighttime timing? Considering we don't see Quap that much.
Okay, maybe like 12 minutes in. The second nighttime is
I'm down for
a little bit more accurate.
I'm down for that. It's like there's a little bit of pressure being added there to DDZ, man.
Yeah.
Gotta give him some kind of like space to move. This AM though is still untouched. Hasn't left the lane, hasn't done anything. And the fact that AM is now also ahead in the CS and Faceless Void has died, this is going to push Faceless Void back. Obviously Void's running ahead of Midas, but at the same time Anti-Mage is damage items away from finishing up his Battle Fury.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they're both going to get a lot of farm. I just find it very difficult for an anti-mage to fight into a Faceless Void, because one misstep, you get Chrono, and essentially you're dead. Whereas Void, I mean, he could get his mana burned away, but he has a lot of time to actually get out of dodge with his Time Walk. Drop a defensive Chronosphere if you want to do that too.
He has a safety net.
Yeah.
So TDZ, never sure about this kind of stuff, but he's looking for the extra DPS. Sonic Wave, if he throws it down, Mark should technically be dead, but no one gets
the mech came in.
9 one-times, he comes to Prophet ulti in the face. But Brave will keep him alive. He's got to stop having that attack though. The corrosive skin keeps kicking back. Ooh, he's going to go down. Titan arrives, throws out the Ravage. He's out of mana. He can't anchor smash, which means the Ravage is stolen by the Rubik. He's going to turn this into the Night Hunter. He's out of range. Only just the Ravage.
No!
The Kraken shot.
Well, the Ravage wasn't getting enough. Meanwhile, if you look at the backline here, Dazzle's going to go down to the creeps plus the poison attack of the Viper. But I gotta say, you know how you said the Buckler came in the middle of the fight? The mech came in the middle of that fight, and he was able to pop the mech after eating the Sonic Wave. Obviously, the Magic Wand was a big part of that. Okay, you whiff a Ravage, if you want to call it that, if you're Dazzle, or if you're Rubik, excuse me. But hey, man, you just wait for the next one. That's the beauty of sealing that Ravage.
He can hold it long enough too, can't he?
Yeah.
It's 150-second cooldown, but he's got 180 duration on that level 1 Rubik Steel.
Under attack.
Can't believe how, I don't even want to say lucky, like how bad timing Arrow has had.
Yeah.
I think it's a better way of putting it, because MVP, like their runs are coming at their perfect times. It's just Arrow who say, hey, we can initiate on this, and then all of a sudden, there's a little bit more than what they really intended to deal with.
Maybe MVP is like being really next level. They wrote that
coming in. Chrono on the Wraith King. This is just a simple kill.
Yeah.
Viper will take it from outside the Chrono.
Just jump it off.
I like how he's also put the 4 points up into corrosive skin, because he's realized like that.
Oh man,
like,
definitely. Yeah.
Do you want to poison touch me? Would you Queen of Pain? Would you also like the Shadow Strike?
I think she learned her lesson. We have not seen a single Shadow Strike
she did it at the
afterwards.
start of that fight. She had it on March. That's why the corrosive skin kept ticking out enough.
I guess if you're fighting and going for the kill, that's fine. But
that's what she thought.
Yeah, as a simple harass, no.
It's like now I can finally have the DPS for this, but never had it.
And meanwhile, Sanking has a 10-minute Blink Dagger, 11-minute Blink Dagger. So I feel like MVP Phoenix in this game, everything is lining up. They're not forced into that single mindset of, hey, we can't team fight you. We have to do other stuff. They could do whatever they want. In fact, they're doing it very well. The support rotations are very impressive. And to be honest, this Queen of Pain pick has not worked out at all for Aero Gaming.
No. While it might have been even on the lanes, it's just the follow-up into the mid... I don't say the mid-game fights. We're only halfway through the early game. Just not good. But still, I'm not underestimating the anti-mage.
Yeah, he's going to get himself like a 13-minute Treads, Battle Fairy, and Calling Blade. And that's very, very impressive time. Meanwhile, you have heroes that don't do anything early on. Viper as well as Void. I know they're coming in and getting a ton of kills, but to me, that's also generally off the mistakes of Aero committing very difficult on heroes they can't actually kill.
Yeah.
So I think Aero, if they just scale it back and just farm for the next 35-40 minutes and let your anti-mage take over.
MVP's coming in for a kill, and you see DDZ hovering down. Oh,
Ravage?
Close! Why is he still here? The Ravage is going to go right now.
Oh,
and it connects on 2 heroes. There's a new TB in, and then the epicenter comes up from me. Straight to the Dazzle, but he's stunned up, and now the real Ravage will come up from the Titan Hunter. He can actually steal this all over again. Johnny, low on life, 9 life points. He survives through this engagement, away from the creep wave. Queen of Pain still didn't die, now Lance comes in. Mana Void, not enough to kill off Region. He's got Blink off cooldown in 1 second time from now, and he gets himself back behind the tower. And then Perez! Oh, he pulled Naru DK directly in behind the tower, and next to the Tide Hunter as well as the anti-mage. Loses his life here. For 9 for 3.
It's not so bad because he traded his life. Well, he got reliable goal for his kill on getting the Wraith King. Unfortunately, he gave the kill to Tide Hunter, who really needs some help. Tide Hunter, by the way, I really dislike his Triangle Boot choice. So you see multiple these team fights, he's complete out of mana.
Yep, that's what I thought like Arcane was before with
yeah,
the choice.
That's why he got his Ravage stolen in the first place, because he had no mana to use a secondary spell. Also, he's actually going into a mech. Like, mech costs, what, I think 150? And then you have Ravage costing 150. That means you either can't gush or you can't spam Anger Smash. Tide Hunter that can't spam Anger Smash is not really a Tide Hunter.
And where's he meant to go, really? Ooh, DDC. Blink got stolen. The 4-point Blink now in the hands of the Rubik. But he blinked in once to try and bring down this Observer Ward and then just ran back instantly.
I think they know now as well. They could actually just deny.
They gotta know there's an observer ward there too. Because the observer ward just timed out on the other side of the river.
Yep.
Because that's the only way, like from inside the river, you could see over that far.
Well, maybe they could think that they saw it during that last fight, because it was very chaotic.
But he was taken from down in the river and the creep rate wasn't up. He had to have some kind of vision up.
I suppose, yeah. I also wasn't sure whether the fight happened during daytime or nighttime, because during daytime you can't see across. But
Battle Fury up and running for the Anti-Mage, by the way. Just want to flag that one. And that's one thing which MVP have done nothing to try and quell. Like, this Anti-Mage farm is now going to get completely out of control, because there's been no pressure added to the tier 1 tower in the top lane. It actually hasn't taken a single hit of damage. All the fights around the Queen of Pain. And I know she's meant to be like this snowball kind of hero, but right now DDZ is turning into this filter maker.
At the same time, if you want to say the same thing for QO, like essentially that's the same. There's only one kill for that Queen of Pain.
ADPs are coming in right now. This thing's going to go on March, the need to slow with the Gush as well for though DDZ. He's going in for the Nile, but Lance comes in to fight this one. They put this on the fight, but they cannot take this fight. He's still got mech available, and Lance just blinks away. And the real blink was now stolen by the Rubik. I say the real blink, the blink of Rubik, not the blink of Queen of Pain.
There's two blink in this game, and obviously the anti-mage blink is a lot better because of how the animation works. You can't tell.
They have a crack at this one. Blink in, scream already. The tower gets healed on faces void.
Fine, he'll just walk it on him.
DDZ doesn't even want to commit a Sonic Wave to one hero faces void who could possibly backtrack. I don't think anyone wants to do that this early on.
So if you have a choice between stealing the Quap Blink versus the Anti-Mage Blink, you want the AM one, because the Quap one leaves a trail of... Basically, enemy knows which side you blink to, or which direction you blink to, whereas the AM is completely hidden.
Does it actually have like a harder turn rate too on the Quap Blink? Or it doesn't matter with the Rubik?
Turn rate?
Because Quap has to turn before she blinks, where
yes.
Anti-Mage does this like a small shift to the foot instead.
Yes, that's exactly it. And that's why you know where Quap blinks to, because she has to turn towards that direction.
This one ancient just refuses to move. Triple stack.
It's like, man, I just like it here.
Yeah, just decides not to go anywhere. He got aggroed though. He definitely got aggroed. But they're just giving all the experience out. And with also Wraith King in here, like Anti-Mage, he's going into a Vladimir's build as well.
Top tower is under attack.
With this money, he can't buy the whole thing just yet. Actually, no, can he?
Yeah, I think he...
Oh no, he's short the ring.
Tower has fallen.
It costs 350. He has it now if he wants to buy it. And they're going to go for the Roshan, which dire advantage if you want to call it that. But meanwhile, tier 1 has gone down top. March is being able to do a lot of stuff by himself. He's also almost got his Acceptor finish. Meanwhile, I think MVP is aware of what's going on, but they're not really...
I don't think they're going to be too concerned to go in after this one. It's not like our last game from Arrow where they had like Chrono and Darkseer and all this other kind of thing. Such a great fighting inside the pit. They know if they come into the pit, they're going up against Ravage, they're going up against Sonic Wave. They could be battling up against Weave as well. They just don't know what's there from Arrow. They just let Anti-Mage have the Aegis the Immortal. They have Roshan as well. So first gold, first experience coming in. And MVP just make sure they get to their items they want before they fight. I'm not so sure about this for Faceless Void though. I know if Capitalist is watching right now, he's going to be like queasing a little bit. Because we have a Battle Fury Faceless Void.
I mean, it's definitely a very old school way to take at it, and the idea behind this is you try to be anti-mage. Unfortunately, you don't have a 6-second blink on cooldown. Like, that's a big difference.
You don't have a mana pool to keep doing the Time Walk either. That's 90 mana cost out of a 4/2/9 pool.
Also, his base attack time is a lot higher than the anti-mage, or translating normal English, he doesn't attack nearly as fast as the anti-mage. So this Battle Fury is not going to give him nearly the increased farm rate that it would give to an anti-mage. At the same time, this will give him the damage output in Chrono. That's kind of a point I made earlier. If you go for Acceptor first, you are going to have a big Chrono. At the same time, you're not going to do much in that Chrono.
But you can also, okay, we might want to watch for Red on this top lane. Also with the Cloning Blade, Mana Boy,
Chrono
couldn't get it off. The Chrono went, he's beating into Lance at the moment, but not enough damage to kill him off. And then Shallow Grave, Dazzle was enabled, Ravage is actually from region. And now when you steal the Blink Dagger, he's falling down. The Aegis Immortal is gone here. Anti-Mage, he's got Blink up cooldown the second he arrives. So down he goes further north. The Tier 1 tower with a blink up to the Burrow Strike. The Epicenter is now being channeled to, but Lance just blinks himself away. They're running out of control.
Radiant's top tower
the
has fallen.
Epicenter follow-up is a little bit...
Is he really going to try this one? You can't win this battle, man. blinks away to safety. This is a 2-on-1 right now.
And they're going to lose that 2-on-1. He's got mech available. He could toggle threats and get full regen out of this. He's going to get Johnny's ultimate for free. DDZ still wants to come back in. This is a really mistake. He has a mech available. Sonic Wave's going to come in. The mech's going to come up here. They get finally AM into the fight. They get the kill, but they were severely overestimating what they can do.
And Prophet ulti. Oh, DDZ is very, very lucky he got himself out of.
Yeah, if that Prophet ult came in any time during that fight, and if Prophet decides to come in and not just be like, hey man, Viper, you're on your own, like they could have easily turned that as a double around. Finally, Arrow gets a mech, but do they really have a mech, or do they have a mech on a hero that doesn't have mana to use the mech?
Bottom tower is under attack.
Good man. Blink Burrow hits on 2. Boy, still doesn't have Chrono, 17 seconds on cooldown, and now we've got Hellfire Blast stolen. And he turns it straight into Johnny. No ultimate available for this Raid King, so he will go down here.
That's a very overzealous TP under 4 heroes in a tower, but that's cool.
Well, at least Dazzler gets himself away to safety. It took a long time to get himself back to base, though. The Tidehunter is also back to safety. He's thinking about like blocking the camp. No, he actually blinked himself up to search for the anti-mage, but he comes in towards the middle lane. And this is where March can actually find himself in a really bad position.
He's fine.
The anti-mage, okay, he can dish out a lot of damage to Lance, but he's completely out of mana now.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm thinking, like, in the later portion of the game, Lance, if he has a heart, if he has a little bit more stability towards him, and not just having 1,200 life points, and actually it's 1,200 life points and 16 armor. But if he could be a little bit tankier than that, really could cause some troubles for the Viper, because then you can't spam your ultis out even if you do have Aghanim Scepter. You can't have your poison attack anymore. It's just literally Nether Toxin and Corrosive.
Yeah, that's definitely the case. I mean, a Viper without mana is somewhat anemic as a hero. I would actually go as far as to suggest he should get an Orchid. I mean, I think it's kind of somewhat out there, and this is obviously after he finishes Axe Scepter. I feel like Orchid naturally good against what Arrows has, like a Queen of Pain, Anti-Mage before he Mantas, a Tidehunter, things like that, and it will allow him to have the mana pool should he get focused. Or obviously he could go back for a lot more of the standard items like a Manta Style or a Heart of Tarask, that kind of stuff. But, you know, Orchid does give you fairly decent attack speed as well as damage.
Means you got a double Orchid.
Yeah, if you want to go that way, but obviously Viper is not exactly known for his versatile item choice. He generally goes for the exact same thing game after game.
I'm wondering if it's almost worth getting. Actually, is it more dangerous to get yourself a bigger mana pool, considering what Anti-Mage could then do to you? Like if you try to go into something like a Shiva's Guard?
Yeah. I mean, you do have the corrosive skin, magic resist, so you're a little bit more resistant to that. And also, you got to keep in mind that Rubik is going to give you no fuel as well. So if you want the mana void to go on you from Anti-Mage, I think he wants that to happen. Like you're so tanky. You have your mech, you have your Axe Scepter. If you could say that, hey, mana void me and don't mana void my Prophet, I think that would be a choice that Viper will make. Yeah.
Moving up towards the top lane, it's a 3-man smoke. I don't think March was in range for that though. And they're too far away from the Anti-Mage. Anti-Mage is backing up to pick up his Manta Star, which he now has. So we're 22 minutes in with Vlad's BF, Manta Star, Treads.
Middle tower is under attack.
I don't think they have enough damage to actually kill them. They do have the Orchid, but he has Manta now.
Yeah.
So they can't actually kill him.
They can't control him with that. Like they have to get the
They'll try.
Strike.
Where's the lift?
Oh, that's actually a bad blink into the exit now. And there's the lift. Pick him up. There goes your Mana Star, and he blinked himself away to safety. So they've actually used a lot of abilities now. DDZ, Hellfire Blast, which was still in the hands of Regen, is currently being used. Lance needs to regenerate up a little bit faster than this, and they will. In fact, there's blink stolen by the Rubik. He's down the lane. There's a Viper also here. Mana Void will go off the Lance. He needs to make some of the time, and he doesn't have mana for a Ravage. He can't predict his team. Now the sync charge will go. Ravage is available, but he's already lost the anti-mage. Needs a trigger to buy some space, but he was causing troubles for Johnny. He can turn around to a stun right now and kind of has to. He'll lose the Thunder if he doesn't. Ty goes into a tree line to basically die like a dead cat. Like just finds a dark place to die. That's it.
And I want to talk about during that middle team fight, Viper did in fact run out of mana to use the mech to save the Rubik. He could have mech'd, but I guess they forgot to do so. In any case, MVP comes out ahead in that team fight, and you can see that Void is really taking the opportune time to come into these team fights. Full mana, ready to go with his Chronosphere. He has BKB almost finished on his stash, and this tier 2 is going to be going down.
Yeah.
I feel like the composition and the item choices of Arrow is really fallen off, and as much as it was outdraft in game number 1, you could argue that it's fairly outdrafted in game 2. But this way, I think Arrow outdrafted themselves, because Queen of Pain is really a poor matchup. for this metagame.
Maybe they were really looking for that OG when he got banned in the 5th slot by MVP.
Yeah.
Because they could have topped up their lineup very, very nicely instead of just having this, well, we're both decent at laning kind of thing.
Yeah. We see the Viper came after the Queen of Pain as a counter pick, so you can't blame them for too much, but picking a Queen of Pain blind into this draft is, again, very, very questionable. So you're looking at this draft, and the only thing that comes to your mind that will really carry Arrow out of this ditch is Anti-Mage. And Anti-Mage is one of those heroes that, against all odds, he can solo carry. Can you do it against the Void? That's the question.
He needs more life points, basically.
I don't think he'll survive a Chrono. At any stage of the game, he cannot survive Chrono.
In that case, he relies he's going to rely on the Dazzle and the Hellfire.
Yeah,
that's the only way to get through this.
I mean, evasion is...
They find much.
Well.
Manastar's still available into the Anti-Mage, and now, okay, they start with Sting, which means they've got to commit to this. BKB, Blink in, Sonic Wave is still available too, but March has triggered up the mech. They're trying to burn off every bit of the mana on this fight, but there goes your Sonic Wave, and they will get the kill with the Mana Void. The Sonic Wave is actually stolen right now. He's going to return it in towards Lance.
Oh!
He got no one with the Chrono actually running on the edge of this, trying to crit. There's your Sonic Wave going into 3. The mech from Canada coming a little bit late. They just Robin actually sprouting himself up on the tree line so he can't be involved. While the rest of Arrow, they just start to mow through MVP. He's the last sole survivor of MVP in this engagement. It's a double kill coming in the way of the Dazzle during this as well.
And that's Arrow outplaying MVP Phoenix. The decision making for them to actually go in there after losing their mech Viper is a huge mistake. I mean, it doesn't help that your Chrono missed, but even if the Chrono hit, I'm not sure whether they could kill Anti-Mage, because Anti-Mage at that point was very tanky, 2 spell shields, so he should have blocked a lot of that Sonic Wave. Yeah, I felt that it was a misjudgment in MVP Phoenix, and if you look at the Go Grab, a lot of their lead was instantaneously lost there. They need to actually defend against these early tower. And you gotta keep in mind also that AM that's free to farm in the enemy jungle means your Void is going to have less farm in your own jungle.
Yep.
And the AM is essentially running away with this game after that particular fight.
I still can't believe that again we had a fight going off Mara. Like Chrono didn't hit, but there was no Ravage again.
Yeah.
This is almost as painful as watching like an Eternal MP Doombringer that tries to go Shadow Blade very early on, and you're just like, where's the mana? Where's the mana to cast anything?
I think it's worse on this one because you also have the mech on top of that.
Yeah. But he had to trigger the mech. Like, he triggered the mech to try and save his first hero, which ended up dying.
Yeah.
And then the mech got triggered. Even
so
then that didn't work.
Here's the thing, he has a Blade Mail now. Blade Mail has a Robe and Magi in it, plus 10 intelligence. That helps a lot. That's like getting a free Staff of Wizardry. Why does he want Blade Mail? Like, if you get focus as TIE Hunter, you're like, I drop my spells, I don't really care.
It's just literally a come at me bitches item. That's all this really is.
But nobody's gonna come at him. Nobody cares because he doesn't do much. I guess Anchor Smash should not be underestimated. That's fair, but I mean,
Johnny is coming in for the bottom lane fight. He doesn't have Anchor available. The Tidehunter, he's got Ravage up. And look where Regent's hiding. He's in the tree line waiting for this Ravage to go so he can just steal it. Johnny ends up dying. Like, Anti-Mage is taking a tier 1 tower in middle lane as a trade-off here, as well as continuously finally got a Chrono over on the Tidehunter. Ravage can get it off in time, doesn't even want to. The Shadow Grave is gone. Regent sees DDZ over the side. He flicks himself away, but Tidehunter will go down here.
Actually, a 10-second BKB charge out on Q. Oh, I'm not sure whether that's even worth. The Tidehunter is dead, but okay. That's like a BKB down. Roshan is alive. I mean, they have the advantage right now. They should actually press for it. Tidehunter's dead for 31 for no Ravage.
And he can't buy back either. He's shot by 430.
Yep. If you're a QO here, I think what you want to do is look back for your Acceptor because it gives you a lot more tank ability. And then obviously it helps your Chrono Trigger by a lot. But you started with this heavy DPS route. Maybe I'll continue it. Get that MKB. Get that Basher. Oh, obviously, never mind. You don't get the Basher because you already have Basher. But MKB, crit, whatever else. Butterfly.
The weed inside the pit. He sees Demolus, but yeah, he gives Demolus now in the hands of Faceless Void. They are still seeing Heen here in the middle lane, and Lance, well, he's a bit more mana, pops the mana style, as now trying to drain all out of Void! Wow, what happened to him there? Regent's right behind him, they're trying to escape out, and Lance, he continues to burn. That DPS coming out from him is ridiculous. He gets through the Viper, and they want to go deeper. This Void is trying to save the Aegis right now.
Do you know why?
And well done, Lance, stay in the trees.
Do you know why he did so much damage? During that Roshan, the Dazzle throw down the weave, and afterwards
they had no armor.
They had like minus 12 armor when they ran into the anti-mage. Please. I mean, it just like small things like these really shows why MVP Phoenix is not considered as one of the top teams in the world. Like, for example, DK there, they really realized weave is down. Just get the Aegis and get the hell out of the down. You know, you want your fights, you want your battles. Let's win the war later on. You know, it's okay.
Yeah.
But perhaps a little bit overconfident. Team Mages gave them a slap around. They're very lucky that all they lost was a Sand King.
Yeah. If they lost the Aegis...
Oh, they lost the Viper as well.
Oh yeah, sorry, Viper. If they lost the Aegis Immortal with that, that would have been even more critical.
Yeah.
Because that's meant to be MVP's ticket to winning the next fight.
I think the ticket for them to win any fight is to hit a good chrono, which so far has been quite suspect. One on the AM missed completely, the other one was on a Blade Mail TIE Hunter with the mech.
About to get one on the AM this time around.
Alright, let's see how
great jump up, AM, blinks, actually down into them. They're to start with, this is what the corner, but they're two grouped up, and Heen actually blinked himself into the middle of this chrono.
I think he's dead.
AM, yeah, he's gone. The heart can't protect him. The one chrono's enough, and the rest of his team couldn't get there in time. There was no blink from the TIE to get a Ravage in. Rosen couldn't reach him in time, and now Heen, he's
DDZ, get out of there.
He's too short on the Burrow Strike.
On the mid lane there, they see the Dazzle. Oh no, Dazzle's gonna get sprouted, and here gets lifted as well. Yep, straight up dead. Easy pick up. Johnny's gonna get picked up as well. He's slowed down, trying to TP out again. Somewhat overzealous, and that means he's gonna die twice.
Yep. To run himself away, but then again, the slow might be doing well. No tier 2 to protect him. We sprouted up, and now he's going to get secondarily Orchid. Actually, he's holding on to the Orchid charge. Heroes down and potential to go high ground. Sonic Wave almost has to be used to defend this, but DDZ's busy on the bottom lane farming.
Well, nothing else you can really do. I mean, you can drop a Sonic Wave and blow up the creep, which might not be too bad, but I mean, MVP's gonna come in. They got, you know, Mask of Madness on their carry, just whacking down this tower. There's a anti-mage death for 20 more seconds. This is mid-racks.
Yeah, I think they're gonna let it. They're gonna let it go. That's it. They're just gonna let it go.
And please, MVP.
Dire's middle barracks has fallen.
Weave is on you. Just back off.
It's the dangerous wall if they stick around. But they're double TPing down to find the Queen of Pain. But she's already TP'd away to safety, so they're too late for that one.
Yeah.
But the full racks does go down. Arrow made the best decision they could.
Sure.
If they fought then, they lost another 2 heroes, it would open up for MVP to rotate to the bottom racks. And then this would be into position of GG. Double racks down up against Nature's Prophet. It would take a lot to lose that game. Animage is still farming up a hell of a lot.
Yeah, he really is, but we see that a single chrono means the death of him. It's not just the damage output from the Void in the chrono, it's also allowing your enemy or your allies to chain their stuns in such a way that anti-mage will never actually get a chance to get his blink off. So, you know, that's the Hex coming out from the Prophet, that's the Telekinesis Lift, that's the Burrow Strike.
And now Desolated too.
He's...
the entire thing, so 32-minute Deso, Scythe, Orchid, and a Veil of Discord in for Heen. Fight's getting better and better.
Yeah. I think this is one of the few games where I would not prefer a Veil over Sand King. Obviously, it allows you to do more damage output than an Agathem Scepter would be, and it's much, much cheaper. But generally, when you get a Veil, you want to increase the damage output of your allies as well. If you have a heavy magical nuker, Veil does a lot more for your team. But this game, I think tanking up is more of a key thing. Being able to drop multiple Burrow Strike against this Anti-Mage, against the Queen of Pain, and you could tank against those Ravage and Sonic Wave combo, but obviously he just cares about the deeps, and I think that's a fine choice as well.
DPS is also there. Faces Void has himself a full Daedalus now on him during the engagement, so look for those time locks during the Chronosphere, and that Faces Void, that Anti-Mage will die very quickly, but then again, Faces Void, Anti-Mage is walking around now with the Talisman.
Dire's top tower is
Does
under
have potential for evasion. Johnny's going to stun over on the Faces Void. He backtracked the initial damage from it, and then just comes the Viper ult to the face. The Hex goes on Faces Void, and he could trigger off the BKB. Chrono, he can catch 2, but it's not the 2 he wants, and the Blade Mail, okay, that does absolutely nothing during that. Ankle trigger off, Martin, very online, Sonic Wave is still available, he's going to throw it out. Hits on top of a rev, the Viper does go down. Anime still able in this fight, but he's too low on life points. Fights turn around for the engagement. The Agency model will trigger. Lands, he just pointed back up. Orc it up, Telekine's pick up, dragging it back. Raking finally goes down again. And Regent just blinking himself around this Rubik, searching for more openings. He's going to find one. With the Burrow Strike being made by him, the lead down there by the face of Void, trying to catch the Dazzle into the tree line. The Shallow Grave will go, and now all the Rabbit Anti-Mage actually burns through deep hard. That Weave is on them again. -9, -10, and Prophet goes down. 4 heroes lost. Hean's on the way out. He's TPing up in the tree line. And in that engagement, we actually ended up having only one buyback from the Dire side, and that was the Tidehunter to bring in that Ravage.
Which wasn't really much. And meanwhile, MVP, again, blinded by the Bloodlust. It's objective gaming, boys. You won that fight, you force AM back, just take the tier 2 and back out fine. But they chase for kills. And guess who they chase? For a Dazzle. If you get a Dazzle kill, whoop-de-doo, get a cookie for yourself.
But they didn't even get the Dazzle
kill. They didn't get the Dazzle because he graved.
He shallow grave. Like that Ravage that came in from Tidehunter bought him the space just to walk out of there.
Yeah, and keep in mind again, Weave was on them. To be fair, only on the latter half of that, but it was still on them, and you know, they took the fight.
Yeah.
I think chasing for kills is okay if you have the Chronosphere available, because worst, you could drop the Chrono, kill one, and get out.
Please don't do this, Lance.
Oh,
Lance,
no, it gets lifted. But there's no stun. He's fine. He'll just walk it off.
Of course, the amount of times I've seen Rubik.
Well, Prophet's back soon. Prophet could TP in if he has the balls to do it. Rapid's going to come down. No, he's not going to go for it. Just too many fog.
See Dazzle with a haste rune running up. they can't kill the Anti-Mage.
Yeah.
And if Anti-Mage can just find himself just that little bit more time to farm, the full butterfly will be completed for him during the fights. Then it's going to get to a point where he'll have to sell off that Vladimir's offering. And do we actually start looking at, because we haven't seen any kind of evasion. Actually, now we do. Viper's building into a butterfly. So, well, here's a Monkey King, or you actually go into Abyssal Blade on this guy?
If you are...
take like Doka.
If you're AM?
Yeah, if you're AM.
I think Basher is a little bit more important. Because you want a way to actually, if you catch out the Void, you want to be able to 1v1 him. Instead of just hit him a couple of times and blink before Chrono comes down. Because you know that Butterfly is not going to protect you under Chronosphere. Chronosphere removes evasion. Obviously, evasion against Viper is... Sorry, the evasion from Viper against Anti-Mage is annoying, but you also don't want to hit the Viper, right? In fact, it's going to be a Heaven's Halberd from Viper. I think I like this choice a little bit more. On-demand disarm against the Anti-Mage. He doesn't have that BKB, so hey. Where you at? That's the where you're at. The Tidehunter is like, hey guys, I'm trying to be cool. Hit me, I got a blade mail. The Viper is like, yo.
What the hell? He just got himself a solo kill, putting that side device to work.
Alright.
He just took out the Nature's Prophet on the bottom lane. I mean, Regent and Hina backing up from the top.
That's what this hero is supposed to do, right? Walk around the map and get kills.
Tower
and split push. Doing a fine job of both.
Get a lot of money for that too. Like, not just for the kill, like 353 was for the kill. But DDZ's walking around with basically 2.3k gold off that site as well as BKB. It's not amazing for 37 minutes in for a Queen of Pain, but considering some of the stuff that went severely off the rails for Arrow, it's not too shabby.
Yeah, I think she could actually look towards maybe a survivability choice, like maybe a Shiva's guard. That would be nice against that Void. But for now, it's going to be a tier 2, push up top, Burrow Strike, getting himself out of there. But it's going to be Arrow that's actually taking this tower. I felt like MVP should have had, well, I mean, he's cool there, but like...
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Lance has his butterfly.
I mean, MVP Phoenix had the initiative for the whole game, and after multiple fights of throwing away small incremental advantage, I mean, this AM is looking really, really scary.
Keeps going on. Like MVP, they almost have to breach in and get the second one. Oh, Korea just got sniped. That had Ghost Scepter on it, and he got sniped up next to the Queen of Pain.
Whose Ghost Scepter was it?
The Ghost Scepter belongs to our wonderful man, the TI4.
Okay. I actually think that another choice that Queen of Pain could look into is a E-Blade. E-Blade, yes. Because not only does it give you that one-shot opportunity, if your AM is chronoed, you E-Blade him. And Void's just like, well, I can't attack.
You wouldn't try and E-Blade the Void because he just BKBs out.
Right. I mean, well, if the BKB's down, that's a fine choice as well.
Yeah. Well, right now the tier 2 tower is going to be forfeit on the top lane. There's no point for Arrow to fight outside their base just yet. The butterfly is still not on Lance
Dire's
yet.
top tower has fallen.
He's got himself a real hard time for this because he's got to drop the Talisman of Evasion down somewhere and then pick up the Eagle Song and then go all the way back to base to get this. And he can't have any other choice to do this for another 2 minutes.
Career's dead.
Yeah.
I mean, he could hide his glass somewhere if he do that, but
yeah, that's true.
Remember the days where you could ask your support to walk to the shop and be your courier? Does this still work? Like, does the item drop on the ground if you're not there? I just don't think you can even buy it.
I don't know. No, it says the shop's unavailable.
Yeah, yeah.
You're not next to it.
That's BS. I have my team there, man. You can pick it up for me.
His support can't support in that many ways. Roshan's being started up right now. Dazzle actually bought a Blink Dagger in this game.
Alright. The ability to stay back and blink in for that grave, man. Always in position.
Roshan's at 1/3 life points now. The illusions from SK have been scouted out, and Lance is like, he knows what's going on, but if he blinks into that, he's in trouble. If the Tide does not have a Blink Dagger, he can't get involved in this. Roshan, 250, and there he goes down. Viper will take the Aegis to the Immortal. The question is, does Arrow try and fight this or not? And the answer is, anyway, yes. He jumps into the middle of the fight. Now, Boy jumps in too. The Mana Burn went on the Viper. The Ravage hit. He never got the BKB up. Can he kill off the Animage in time? Shot range? No, he cannot. The Hex is still there. Lance, swing yourself away. Mana Starlock. He tries to fight me. He dies to fight for Sting. There's more support in here. The Animage as he fires back into the game. Johnny respawns back to Wall of the Living. A quick stun. They cannot keep him alive, however. And this Animage cannot farm. He couldn't get back to the fight in time. And Arrow maybe just took the worst fight they possibly could have.
Was literally zero reason to take the fight. The weave, as big of that AoE spell, missed. It hit nobody. They just got Aegis, they just got cheese. There was a full Chronosphere up, and he's gonna be fine. He just blinked out the fight. There was no tactical advantage for Arrow to actually take the fight. They just took the fight because they felt like it, I guess. Or maybe they felt like they had to.
This time the weave is actually on them. Sonic Wave goes out, and he eats into March, and March will lose his own life right now. Low on life, 46. There's the last hit, but it's the Aegis, the Immortal. We'll bring him back up again. He's already Burrow Striked in. Johnny's on the sidelines. No aim to protect him as well. And Lance is already having to back up. Veil of Discord is currently on top of him. And MVP still have all 5 ready to fight in this top lane. Cheese is still also a battle on the Void. And the Desolator from Prompt is letting them eat through these towers very quickly. A new TP on the way. That's the Tide Hunter. No Ravage available in Void. Tells him the he got Lance as well as the Tide Hunter. Beating on top of Lance, but it's only him that can reach it. Shallow Grave is protected. Burrow Strike up from him. Lance again has to blink himself away. The Poison will follow him. And he'll actually tick out from this. This is going to be GG. 2 minutes on the sideline. And there is a call from Arrow. MVP. It looked shaky. It looked very, very shaky in that mid game. But they get through. They take 2 Ragnars and they take the GG call from Arrow.
It wasn't the cleanest of wins, but they showed that their coordination, especially during the mid-game fights, was there. Rubik played extremely well. Sanking played very, very well. I think 10-minute Blink Dagger was, or 11-minute Blink Dagger, and Prophet tying things together. But a lot of it, for me, was Arrow making very, very poor decisions.